Turn on your X-ray goggles. This is Borderline News. Now give me a pat down.
Welcome to Borderline News. I'm Keith Andrews, and I don't care if you're a Bible-thumping Republican or a tree-hugging liberal, nobody likes being groped by the TSA.
And I'm Victoria Elder, and after weeks of therapy, I'm almost ready to go through the airport security again. Now, for the news.
The TSA stands for Transportation Security Agency, aka terrorizing society's airports. Even though these creeps claim they're just trying to keep us safe, the TSA is now fondling our private parts and using pornographic radiation-emitting scanners. It's no wonder people are getting upset faster than you can say, "Don't touch my junk!" I mean, the scanners are great if your goal is to be seen nude by total strangers. But since most of us aren't gonna make it on the cover of Sports Illustrated, we'd rather keep our naughty bits from being displayed all over the big screen. Now, you do have the option of saying no to being exposed to all that radiation, but then you get the free pat down. You know, groping, fondling, or if you're Victoria, you call it a first date. But since it's all in the name of safety, I'm sure the process is being handled by professionals with the utmost discretion. Right, Victoria?
Yeah, right. Like the TSA would know how to even spell discretion. Even though their website specifically states that your prosthetics are safe, these well-informed TSA agents recently forced a cancer survivor to publicly remove her prosthetic breast. Not cool, guys. And that's not all. Another cancer survivor had to board a plane soaked in his own pee after TSA agents broke the seal on his urine bag, even after he had worn them several times. And don't think that your kids are safe either, because they publicly strip-searched a 12-year-old boy.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here.
Better words were never spoken. I mean, I know being a TSA agent sucks, especially since there are so many ugly people in the world, but you'd think they could at least be professional about it. You know, when you go to the gynecologist, he's not gonna make fun of you when your feet are up in the stirrups. Do you know why? Because he's professionally trained by an accredited institution, whereas the TSA doesn't even require a high school diploma. In other words, you're getting pornographed and fondled by people who are less qualified than the cashiers at 7-Eleven. Speaking of the unqualified, Keith, do you know who started this whole mess?
Actually, Victoria, I know exactly who is to blame. Michael Chertoff, that's who. He was the Homeland Security Secretary for the Bush administration, and after the underwear bomber got through security last Christmas, Mr. Chertoff went around saying that we need full body scanners. Of course, it's just pure coincidence that Chertoff just happens to run a security consulting company whose clients have made millions selling these scanners. Surprise, surprise, surprise! These douchebags don't care if these machines actually work or that you're giving up your rights to privacy. And they probably don't care if you end up glowing in the dark. As long as they're making money, they will keep crying, "Long live the Patriot Act." What the makers of the full-body scanner aren't going to tell you is that their equipment couldn't have stopped any of the major terrorist acts like 9/11, the underwear bomber, or even the shoe bomber. So, to recap, the TSA sucks. Could it get any worse, Victoria?
Oh yes, it can, and clearly some airports agree. Currently, there are 16 airports that aren't letting these TSA fondlers take care of their security because of all the problems. Sure, they still have to follow the standards that are set by the TSA, but they're definitely not trying to feel you up. However, the TSA agents aren't the only problem. The policies are also flawed, like taking away soldiers' nail clippers, but letting them take their assault rifles on the plane. And police officers aren't much better, since one of them left a fully loaded gun clip on the plane. No, he didn't. And the scanners don't even work very well. Just ask Mythbuster star Adam Savage. He went through the full body scanner, but still managed to board a plane with two 12-inch razor blades in his pockets. Looks like the old school regular metal detectors do a better job, and no one has to see you naked. But it seems there's really no way to avoid this invasion of privacy unless you want to completely stop flying. I guess the only people who approve of what the TSA is doing are the people who are so starved for affection that they'll welcome any human contact they can get. Right, Hillary?
That's right, Victoria. I have to admit, I am a hugger. Hi, I'm Hillary Kennedy, and I want to talk about the heroes at the TSA. Now, I know all these progressives are getting upset because of these full-body scanners and pat-downs, but it's for your own good. The TSA's just trying to make the world safe from Osama's army of Muslim underwear bombers. And if it wasn't for all you liberals and your political correctness, we could solve this whole problem with simple racial profiling. If we just let Caucasians and white people through, then I don't have to worry about sitting next to anyone with a natural tan. Or we could go with Glenn Beck's plan and just let everybody carry their guns on the plane unrestricted. Now that's doing things Texas style. Anyway, if we all had guns, you bashful people wouldn't have to worry about bearing all. It's like George W. the Great said, there ought to be limits to freedom. And I agree. Besides, I don't think anyone would mind scanning me or giving me a pat down. Now back to the guy that no girl would mind patting down, Keith Andrews.
Why, thank you, Hillary. But I think Benjamin Franklin actually said it best. Those who would give up essential liberties to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Ha! Spoken like the dude on the $100 bill. Well, that's it for this episode of Borderline News. We'll see you next time for our Christmas special.